Ahoy out there. Hi, folks. I'm pirate lucky, although it's arguable how lucky I am because I get on a plane and fly to Boston this afternoon into a major nor'easter blizzard, but I'll get by. I'd much rather kind of stay here and be a pirate of the Carib here, but no, I got to make that commitment. But I'm lucky to be introing the founder and creator of Kokolingo and one of his top consulting speech pathologists who was so instrumental in adapting what is really an incredibly innovative assistive tech platform for the U.S. This latter expert is Amy Yacoub, who's from nearby Tampa, St. Pete. And she's a very experienced pediatrics speech language pathologist with a master's in speech language pathology from Columbia University. And she's now serving as a leading therapist in that field at one of the top children's hospitals in Florida for over 10 years. That's in addition to having her own private practice, providing speech treatment and counseling through teletherapy. She's a member of ATIA, is a prompt trained as well, and no doubt taking an intense, in-depth course in mothering from her 4-year-old daughter. But you're going to hear first from Miroslav Vrancic of Rijeka, Croatia, where he's been a longtime professor at the University of Rijeka with an extensive background in electrical engineering. He not only teaches assistive technology, he's launched and invented a number of brilliant devices that do exactly that. Through eGlass, the company he started, founded back in 2009. The most recent of those innovations is, in fact, what we're talking about today, and that's Kokolingo, in which I've been thrilled to be a part. Between Amy and Miro, they've got all the MSs and PhDs. All I've got is a PD, which would be pirate degree. And I also got a BA, that's bad attitude that pirates are supposed to have, but I flunked that. So I was just happy that Amy and Miro were glad I didn't have a Boston accent and could very clearly say, "Arr." So I'll turn it over to Miro and Amy. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much.
So long. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bill, for this great introduction to our actually Pirate Lucky. So hi all. Today I'll present you Kokolingo. And as you all know, actually there are up to 10% of young children who have some kind of speech sound disorder. And it's important to have good materials for them, for SLPs to work with them, because they spend a lot of time and repetition trying to improve their articulation. So basically what we have done, we have prepared Kokolingo. It's a digital platform, so we call it. It's a web-based application, so it works from the website. It's very simple, so no need to install anything, no need to download anything. You just actually use your browser and go to the internet and just open the web page and start using it. So it works on any smartphone, laptop, Chromebook, iPad, tablet, whatever you have, it works. Kokolingo is therapist and patient friendly. It was designed for them. It tracks your child's progress. It is very easy to carry over into home practice. And it is designed both for home use, in person, and online. Kokolingo was actually developed 2 years ago. We did it for a couple of European languages with our team of SLPs and computer scientists. And now with a team of American SLPs, we have prepared it for the US English. And it was really widely used during this COVID pandemic in all kinds of different settings. The key thing with Kokolingo, we wanted to make it fun and engaging, motivating for kids. So basically, we have tried to merge professional knowledge about articulation therapy with something which is almost like a game, something which is fun for kids. And the keyword is actually gamification. So we tried to insert some game elements into speech training and education. So by doing so, we're actually adding much more motivation, engagement, and fun for a kid. And here's how it looked like. So you can see a number of tropical islands. There is some adventure behind, many activities on each island for a specific target sound. And also on these islands, you have your companions, your virtual tutors, Pirate Lucky, which you have seen before, and also Parrot Coco. They are guiding you, showing you how to do things, and motivating a child to go further. One of the very interesting elements that kids love is the Coco store. What can you do here? So basically, by exercising, by doing these articulation exercises, kids are getting some coins, which they can then spend in the Coco store. They can buy some nice things for Parrot Coco, and they like it a lot. So it actually increases their motivation, and also they are engaged for a longer time. They're willing to practice for a much longer time than usually. And now we'll hear from Amy about the structure. Here you go.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the structure of Kokolingo. So Kokolingo is built on the hierarchy of speech sound production. So that starts with the perception and awareness of a sound, and that moves to the placement and instruction for how to move the oral motor musculature to produce the sound. Then we work on producing that sound in syllables, up to words, phrases, sentences, and eventually into connected sentences and conversation. Through Kokolingo, you can practice any speech sound in the initial, medial, or final position of words. After you create a login, this is where you'll start. So you will produce any sound that you want to work on. In the Make a Sound activity, you will watch a series of videos from Pirate Lucky on how to produce the sound. So he'll give multi-sensory cues for producing any sound, kind of like having a speech therapist in your session or in your home. Here's an example of one of the Make a Sound activities.
To make the g sound, we should keep the mouth open part way. The front part of the tongue should stay down. Keep the back of your tongue down and pull it back, almost like you are swallowing your tongue. If we put our fingers against our neck, we can feel the vibrations of the vocal cords when we make the g, g, g sound. Can you feel them vibrating?
So therapists are able to show these videos to children in therapy to help cue them to produce their speech sounds. Parents can also use these videos at home to simulate some of the techniques that the therapist has been using. In the Listen Carefully Treasure Hunt activity, the child will work on auditory discrimination of speech sounds. So they'll listen to a series of words and decide whether or not it contains their target sound. Listen carefully, hear the difference is another auditory discrimination activity. The child will listen to the word and see the pictures and click yes or no whether they've heard their target sound or not. In the Funny Words Climb Up activity, the child will imitate a series of funny words which consist of their target sound within a syllable. So we're starting here at the syllable level production. Each time that the child produces the sound, the therapist or the parent working with the child will give them a rating, whether they've produced their sound accurately or not, and the animal will climb a little bit higher each time, reaching its target. In the Funny Words Hide and Seek activities, the child will match the syllable colors. They'll also then produce it. Here is where we see the rating. So the therapist or the parent will give the child a rating of green star, great, if they did an accurate production of their speech sound, or a yellow star if they did a good try but need to continue working on the sound. Then we move on to producing the sound in any position of the word at the single word level. We have flashcards where the child will see a picture and then they'll imitate their speech sound within a word. In Find the Words activity, the child will click on each leaf, revealing a single word that they'll imitate producing their speech sound. We can also work on articulation of speech sounds at the word level through a memory game. We can choose how many cards that we include in our memory game to tailor it to different ages and levels of ability. And then we're reaching one of our final goals of producing the speech sound in sentences. So in Spin the Wheel, the child will click the star, which will spin the wheel, and they'll produce their speech sound within a sentence. In sentences, fill in the blank. We have another way for the child to continue their mastery of a speech sound by working on articulating it at the sentence level. So they'll read the sentence, the police caught a, and then they'll choose which picture they want to include in their sentence. And finally, we're reaching story time. So the child is now working on producing their speech sound in sentences and then to put them all together into connected sentences to form a story. Let's watch a little demonstration of how to use Kokolingo.
The first thing you'll do on Kokolingo's website is set up a user profile. And once you've created a profile, the next step is to select your target sound. For today's example, I'm choosing F. Now I'm going up here to click on Kokolingo Islands map. And here we can see the 6 Kokolingo Islands. Kokolingo's islands are created in a sequential order, practicing more basic and foundational speech sound skills and gradually moving your child or your client through more complex levels of practice. Your child can practice auditory discrimination in games like Treasure Hunt. In Treasure Hunt, they will be asked to listen carefully and decide whether they've heard their target sound F.
Veil.
Nope. Every time I answer a question right, I'm earning coins. In the activity Funny Words, your child will practice their target sound at the beginning, middle, or end of real or nonsense words. First, you click on the tile, listen to the sound, and then ask the child or client to repeat what they hear. Every time they give a correct answer, the little mouse over here gets closer to the top of the cactus and closer to his goal of reaching his cheese.
Oof.
Oof. In the memory activity, your child will practice finding matches of cards and repeating the words that they're able to match.
Waffle.
Waffle.
Brilliant.
Coco likes to show up when you get right answers every so often to offer some encouragement. In the activity Find the Words, your child will click to uncover pictures and practice repeating those words.
Laughing.
Laughing. Once we advance to practicing our target sound in phrases and short sentences, we can play activities like spin the wheel.
Can you draw a fan?
Can you draw a fan? In the storytime activity, your child will practice putting it all together, producing their target sound in an entire story.
A fancy fish. It was the farmer's wife's birthday.
It was the farmer's wife's birthday.
She wished for a beautiful fish.
In all of the activities, when I give a correct answer, I hear ka-ching. This means that I'm earning coins I can spend later in the Coco store. By clicking on these gems, I go to the Coco store where I can try on a variety of accessories, including hats, glasses in every size, shape, and color, accessories like necklaces, a ukulele. Being able to dress up Coco and personalize her is a great motivator for your child and rewards them for their hard work.
Okay. And that's how we use Kokolingo. So Kokolingo has several benefits, both in the therapy setting and used at home. So a child can use Kokolingo within sessions with the speech-language pathologist. So the speech-language pathologist is able to target several speech therapy goals during their session by using Kokolingo. Therapists have the ability to analyze their client's error patterns so they can see if the child is using certain sound substitutions or phonological processes. The therapist can also determine the best starting point for working on articulation by using Kokolingo. The therapist can provide recommendations for which Kokolingo activities the parents should target with their child at home, and also assess whether a child is stimulable for producing certain speech sounds. Some potential goals that therapists can create by using Kokolingo: they can work on auditory discrimination. We can also work on oral motor placement and determine how to best cue the child to produce their speech sounds. The therapist can also make goals for producing sounds at increasingly complex levels. We can work on a target sound from isolation up to mastering it in conversation. When the therapist logs in, they'll see their therapist dashboard where they can invite a student so that the parent can also play Kokolingo at home and carry over the speech therapy goals. They'll also be able to add multiple students, and they can track the progress of each individual student by looking under their statistics. We can also see if the parent has been practicing the speech sounds using Kokolingo at home with the child, and also view their statistics from home versus in therapy to compare the generalization of therapy goals. Here's what the user statistics column looks like. So we can view the child's progress by day, month, or year. At home, Kokolingo is a great app to use with the child and parent. So that means more home practice, which can lead to more progress. So parents can actively facilitate their child's progress in speech therapy by practicing with them in this fun way. The data and progress can be seen both by the parent and the SLP, and it helps with generalizing therapy goals into the child's natural environment. There's several benefits to parents for using Kokolingo. So the child has improved articulation skills because they're able to practice their speech sounds. That means they'll have more intelligible speech that can be understood by others. It can also reduce the length of time that the child requires speech therapy because they are practicing their speech sounds more often. One of the best things about Kokolingo is that it is fun for children and parents. So they spend quality time together, and speech therapy homework isn't a chore. We do have a limited time offer as we launch Kokolingo. So if you apply today as an SLP, you can get a 1-year subscription to Kokolingo for free. You can also share that with your colleagues and families. Parents can sign up for a free subscription to Kokolingo now, and it will be free until June 15th of this year. Also, to help parents get started with the program, if they sign up, they will have the option of a virtual consultation with a trained speech-language pathologist to help them get started with Kokolingo. And here's how to get started. You go to www.kokolingo.com and you can sign up for your free year. If you need any support, you can send an email to this address. And we would love to hear your feedback. So any feedback that you have, please be sure to complete the session evaluation through the ATIA mobile app. And here's information about CEUs. And again, some information on how to get started with Kokolingo. Again, Kokolingo is a web-based digital platform, so if you go to the website, you can access the games on any type of media, whether it's your smartphone, desktop computer, laptop, or a tablet. And now if we have any questions, we'll open it up. Are there any questions on Kokolingo from anybody? Right, so there was a question. All you need to sign up is just the therapist's email. You don't have to enter any billing information, so it is free for the year. So a question about what the charge will be after the 1 year of free. Right now, we haven't determined that. So for now, it's free and there's no automatic renewal of the subscription. So free to sign up for the year. Okay, thank you all very much.